All right, we are working on section 3.2 today, and if you thought section 3.1 was really easy, you're going to think 3.2 is even easier. Okay, this is review. I would like you to try these on your own before we start, and then I will write the answers down. Okay, let's see how we did. For this top one, x should have been 2. The second one, x should have been 8. And the bottom one, probably the trickiest, x should have been, we would add 3, so -5. If you have questions, bring those to me. All right, we are working still on one-step equations. Just like before, you can write the line down the center if you'd like, but you don't have to. And now we're looking at the x, and we say, what are the 3 and the x doing to each other? Well, I know that those are being multiplied together, so I am going to divide by 3 on both sides. That goes away, so I'm left with x equals 3. And just like before, I have to check my answer. So I go 3 times x, which is now 3. And does that equal 9? Yes, sirree, Bob, it does. Down here on the bottom, same thing. You can draw the line if you'd like, but you don't have to. What are the 4 and the x doing to each other? They're multiplying, so I'm going to divide by the same number that's in front of x. If that was negative, this would be negative. I have to do the same thing to both sides to keep the scale balanced. That goes away, and I'm left with 16 divided by 4, which is 4. And I check my answer just like I did. 4 times 4 equals 16. Kaboom. Correct. Okay. We can have more difficult problems here. Now, let me just make sure. Look ahead real quick. Yeah, we're fine. We can have more difficult problems involving negatives. So here on the top, it's still a one-step equation. We have to divide by the thing that's in front of x, which in this case is -3. Here it's -3. So I'm left with x equals -9 divided by a -3. I know a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So the answer is 3. I also know it's correct because I checked my answer. -3 times 3 equals -9. That is true. So we're checked. We can have fraction answers. Here on the bottom, we do the same thing that we've been doing. We're going to divide by the -6 because that's in front of the y. Now all of a sudden we have a problem. Our y is -9 over -6. Well, I know I can get rid of the negatives right away and turn this into, 9 over 6. I can divide the top and the bottom by 3, so I get 3 over 2. Now I have fractions as my answer, therefore I'm definitely going to check with a calculator. So I go -6 times 3 over 2 equals -9. Well, I know -6 times 3 is -18 divided by 2 is equal to -9, so I know it checks. To show you how to do it on a calculator, you simply go -6 times 3 divided by 2 (9). Now, problems on the bottom, we can have fractions in there, but we also need to simplify before we start, so I'm going to extend the page. 4 plus 3 is simply 7. 7 equals 2 divided by 3x. Now I have to think to myself, I have to get the x by itself. What is the 2/3 doing to the x? Well, it's multiplying. So I am going to divide by 2 over 3, which is going to bring in what we learned last week. Okay, so I have to divide 7 divided by 2 over 3. Well, that means I'm going to do it over here on the right. So 7 divided by 2 over 3. I need the 7 to be a fraction. So I'm going to turn it into 7 over 1. And I'm going to flip the second fraction to turn it into a multiplication problem. Times, I put the 3 on the top, over 2. And now I just multiply. So I get 21 halves, or 10.5. I'm going to leave it as a fraction. I always start with a fraction, I end with a fraction. So x equals 21 over 2. to check my answer, I'm going to use the calculator, definitely. I'm going to go 2 divided by 3 times 21 divided by 2. And I want this to equal 7. And it does. So I checked it. Okay. Now, these problems are a little different. This top one, I want to get r by itself. Well, I notice that the r is being divided by 4. The opposite of division is multiplication, so I'm going to multiply by 4. Okay? Because I'm multiplying by 4, I'm technically multiplying by 4 over 1. That means that these 4s will cross out and go away. And I get r equals 36. And I know 36 divided by 4 is equal to 9, so that checks. Down here at the bottom, there's 2 ways to solve this. I could multiply by 5, which is just fine. And then I would end up multiplying by 5 over here, or 5 over 1, depending how you look at it. So x would be equal to 5 over 4. That works. Also, I could cross multiply. So I'm going to pretend that this is not here. I could cross multiply because there's an equal sign. I could multiply through that, and I could get 4x equals 5. And then I divide by 4, and I get the same answer. Okay, to check it, I would use a calculator, and I would go in parentheses 5 divided by 4 divided by 5, and I hope that this equals 0.25 or 1/4. And it does, so I can check mark. All right. I would like you to try these on your own, and this is the last slide. So let's see how we're doing on time. Oh, we're doing great. Okay. Try these on your own, and then you'll get your assignment. I always wondered what pause was in Spanish. I was going to write it down, and then I was going to say le pause, and then I realized that that would be French anyway, so it's way off. All right, let's see how we did. This one we had to multiply by -3 on both sides. So x equals +3. For this one, multiple ways. We could have cross-multiplied, or we could have multiplied by -2. I'm going to multiply by -2 here. So I get -6 over 6 equals x. So -1 equals x. And here I multiply by 2. So I get -10 equals y. And make sure that you checked all of these. Those will count for points and credit. Okay. Here's the assignment. The code word is going to be Broncos, because that's the game that's about to come on TV. So bring the code word to class, and then you'll get full credit for watching the video. Have a fantastic night.